All good?
Hey gang, what's happening? What's happening?
Too much? How you doing? All good? You said you got in there was an accident or something?
Yeah, okay. So on my way back, you know how you got the little Google Maps? It had said that there was some sort of wreck.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you guys didn't get in an accident. It was just it just
Oh
happened
no,
like
no, yeah. Hmm.
okay. All right. Cool. So glad to have you here to be able to give your side of
Yeah.
the story. Definitely been waiting to hear it because they're not. It's definitely a side of the story that hasn't been told. So I just want to like kind of like tell them who you are, what you're about.
Okay. Okay. First of all, it's King. I came out of Philly. Uh, I basically started rapping after my stepdad showed me Tupac. You know what I'm saying? And for
Yeah.
me, I was always into cartoons, anime, Dragon Ball Z. So when I heard his voice, it was kind of like uh it was like he had a superpower. So like that's what I wanted to be. And ever since I was probably like I said, probably like 12, I've been kind of just off and on with it. I ended up going to college actually. I went to Penn State University.
Okay.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like I made it out type shit. And the music was just calling. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I kept getting in trouble in school. I got
Okay.
hit with a few weed charges and shit like that. So I ended up getting kicked out of college. And after that, it was kind of like my back was against the wall. And after that, I got my first face tat, and I was like, "I'm here, world."
What what inspired you to get your first to start tattooing your face? Was it to make it like you thought it would help you as a rapper? You just always felt like that's what you want to do.
Okay, so for me, right, like I hear that a lot, and it's funny. At this point, it's kind of cliche. Everyone kind of has that thing, but for me, one of my favorite movies growing up was Apocalypto,
Okay.
where they had all that face paint and shit.
Hmm.
And then I'm looking at like, I've always been in like 300 and shit like that. So for me, it was about like having that war paint kind of on my face to kind of represent me and what I was trying to do with my life, and pretty much saying fuck what you had to think, because I didn't give a fuck, because I always seen life as everybody's in a line drumming the same beat, and I always was an outcast. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like always. So I stood on the outside, and I kind of built that rebellious attitude towards society, basically being like, okay, if y'all want me to be the bad guy, I'll be the bad guy.
Okay. So what makes you what makes you say that they thought you were the bad guy? Like just things that happened in your youth, or you just always kind of felt like that?
I mean, I've always kind of felt a little bit different, you know what I'm saying? Like the way I thought and shit like that. And for me growing up, like when I was real young, I was kind of weird because I like fucking Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Pokemon cards, you know what I'm saying, when I was real young.
Hmm.
And like I remember my cousins and them, they're all GDs, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? They're all folks. And they used to clown me like, man, get your little nerd ass out of here. But that's where I got my nickname Six, you know what I'm saying, which I might change my actual name to. But they basically were like, nah, bro, like, stay with the comic books and shit like that. But the gang for me and where I'm from, GDs represented like manhood, because they weren't allowed to do what other gangs are allowed to do. We don't get beat up to get in. We get blessed in.
Okay.
So we don't play with our nose. We don't do certain things. And if you do, that's how you get your ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? So for me, not growing up with my father, I saw that I saw that in the gang, and that's what made me join.
Okay. So it was kind of like for sort of like you said to become like a man type of thing. Like it was growing up for you. You didn't. Are you? Did you stay in like once you were in the gang? Were you still into Yu-Gi-Oh and all that, or do you feel like you kind of had to leave that behind?
I definitely had to suppress it, but at nighttime when I got home, you best believe I was still with my little cards and shit. But I had to kind of hide that from them because it was a different lifestyle. It was two different worlds.
Hmm.
But for me, not having that father figure and all my cousins and uncles being a part of that shit, I I sought that manly or that masculine energy,
Yeah.
and I loved the way that they stood for something. It wasn't just about gang banging. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If you know your shit, GDs are modeled after almost Freemasons. You know what I'm saying? I can't say too much, but it's really about organization, GD, growth and development. You feel
Okay.
me? Like
Yeah.
that's what it's really about. Everyone has it twisted and everybody has a role. And our main goal is to basically get ourselves in positions where we own businesses so we can put on the youth and
Yeah.
create a better society for our people.
I get you. That's yeah, that's really cool to hear actually. So it's kind of like you find like the neighborhoods where these types of like gangs are. There's not a lot of structure. There's not a lot of chances for you guys. So you guys are trying to build yourself like chances and abilities to actually make it up and out of that type of struggle. Is that what you're kind of saying?
Exactly, because I'm looking around seeing a bunch of dudes my age older who are geniuses. They're
Yeah.
geniuses.
Hmm.
If they put that same energy and transmuted it into business,
Hmm.
they all be millionaires.
Facts. Because it's just like school never it wants one type of person, like you said, same type of drum, and if you're any way different, they don't even. So you found
Hmm.
you have problems with school like early on, or you just kind of you didn't fuck with it, you didn't want to be there.
Okay, so of course, like I really did because I was kind of troubled. So this is the first time I'm really speaking on this. It's the first time, but I've always been pretty secretive with my career thus far. I'm going to start to talk a little bit more, open up. But so basically, I my parents were married until I was about 9 years old. They got a divorce. My dad left,
Yeah.
and we ended up with my mom. Now my mom has an abundance, a fucking plethora of mental health issues.
Okay.
And growing up with that was hard. And I think that's what made me so closed off because I was around kids who had that dynamic to some degree more than me because I lost my dad. And then my mom was mentally there for me. We didn't
Hmm.
grow up doing hugs. We didn't grow up saying I love you. Like even now with me, my sisters, it's like, I love you. Bye. Like it's hella,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
I get you. Yeah.
So growing up with her in that mental state, and after being in prison and reading a lot, I now understood like why I had so many issues because you basically adapt the environment you're around. It's human nature. You can't help it,
Yeah.
you know.
So I definitely want to get back to that, but I do want to. So you started. What age did you start rapping? Like what? It was always kind of there.
So no, it was really core. I hate to be cliche, but Tupac, I heard a song of his and I just was like, holy fuck! Like he made me like feel a type of way. Like he energized my body, my mind,
Hmm.
and I said, I want to do that to people too,
Hmm.
because I seen rappers now having the ability that superheroes did.
Hmm.
And me being a nerd, I'm trying to have my own superpower.
You're just trying to inspire people, like the way that like superheroes and all that inspired others. Okay.
My greatest fear is to be here and not leaving my fingerprint. That's my greatest fear. So I seen rapping as a way to make my stamp on this world so I didn't waste this one thing because if you think about it, life is so beautiful for one reason,
Hmm.
and that's because it's so short.
Yeah. That's that's a fact
Simple as that.
for sure. Yeah.
Like
That's for real. Yeah. So so you start. So you went to college. You got kicked out. So then you went. When did like music become like a full time thing? Like you're like, okay, this is all there is now to do.
so pretty much after I got kicked out, I just went hard with the music shit. So the universe is funny because me like I've always like I'm not gonna sit here and cap like I wasn't really like I'm not a diehard fan of like Slipknot and like heavy metal music, but like as a kid, like before I knew who those bands were, when the first Spider-Man dropped and there's a hero to save, I'm like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And like the way like it made me feel like I was on a horse with a fucking like with a sword ready to go slay a dragon. I love that about rock music, and I love
Yeah.
that about that whole genre, like heavy metal, whatever, whatever. I was just like, holy shit! Like, there's so much going on there, and being more Puerto Rican and black, that's who I am. I never really got exposed to that music, so I had to go out and find it. And I met a kid who really kind of showed me, like, you know, what did he show me? A bunch of Slipknot, fucking Metallica, pretty much like the surface shit. I
Hmm.
dug a little deeper. Rage Against the Machines, Five Finger Death Punch. But still, I didn't really dive too deep into it because it wasn't natural to me. You know what I'm saying? But I love what they had to say. And then at the time, you seen when I really started going hard to college, you seen Lil Wayne wearing the leather jackets and shit like that, and like looking and talking about rock stars. But like I was actually making the music. And I had no idea that in Florida,
Yeah.
Extentacion was a thing. So I'm screaming on songs. I can send those to you and everything like that. If you look up, Slum Kings, Asylum, I'm screaming on these songs.
Hmm.
not knowing, and that's how the world is, bro. Like it happens all around because we're all connected.
Yeah.
We're all a part of the same universal ocean. But so I started doing a little scream think, and everyone was like, "You're crazy." I heard fucking Exentacion, and then I was like, "Okay, we're on to something." You know,
Yeah.
he got out of jail. We corresponded a little bit. I got posted on his SoundCloud, and
Oh shit. Yeah.
basically that's when I kind of like started to gain a lot of traction.
That's crazy. Like it is crazy, like you say that it's like a universal thing. Because like I know like Drown Millie, it was like the same thing with him. Like he started doing the scream rap, and he said like he had no idea about XXX Tentacion. You didn't either.
None,
And then it's
bro,
crazy the way the
none.
wave went. Because then like Zilla was not long after that, and that was in New York. Like none of the all over the country, it just starts happening, and it's really cool to
Mhm.
hear about the different parts. So
Yeah,
so you just kind
bro.
of like
I'm in Atlanta,
Atlanta, yeah.
Atlanta, and like it wasn't cool there. Like I didn't know who the fuck X was. Like X wasn't a big name at this point at all. And like I stumbled upon his song because of Wi-Fi's funeral,
Mm,
and I stumbled upon "Please Don't Test Me," and I was like, who the fuck is this kid yelling on this song? I was like, yo, he's killing me right now, and
mm,
he pushed me to go harder.
yeah.
So I was like, holy shit, let me step my game up.
And that see
So
that's
shout out to him.
That's what John Billy said too. He's like he was screaming on shit, and then he's like, "Oh, once he heard X, he's like, I gotta take that. It's like a rivalry. Like we gotta
Yeah.
definitely."
Mhm.
And that's what also I remember hearing like in like Idaho with like another rapper I was talking to. He's like, all the kids there, they're all really religious. There's nothing like that. And as soon as they heard that music, they just start moshing. They just start destroying the house, and it's like there's energy and
Yeah.
like I don't. Would you call it trap metal? Is like that what you would call your genre?
Okay, so listen, let me trademark it right here on your channel, right?
Yeah.
It's called scrap metal. This is
Okay.
my shit. Scrap metal, baby. What does
Okay.
that mean? That is the embodiment of the music I make. It's
Uh,
not trap metal, not hard, but scrap metal.
Okay.
Because what
Okay.
is that? It's a bunch of fragments of metal put together.
Okay. I like that.
Fuck
Yeah.
with me, man. You never heard that. Trademark me, bro. You
Facts.
never heard that terminology. Look it up.
That's what it's all gonna be now. Scrap metal, definitely, because like
Scrap.
I feel like a lot
Come
of
on,
people
bro.
I feel like a lot of people don't fuck with that term. Like a lot of people don't want to be called trap metal. I'm not sure if it's because it's like so synonymous with like X that people just think that it's like you're just gonna be called a clone of him. Because oftentimes I feel like that happens too much, which is I definitely disagree with that. I don't think like X is one thing, but there's so many different like even within that genre, there's so much like diversity and just like voices like so like yeah, scrap metal. That's the one. That's definitely what you should go with. Yeah.
Hey, and if you think about it too, so like for me, like a lot of people, I've watched your channel. A lot of people are like, oh, they're trying to distance themselves from that genre. That's the problem. Like, let's not worry about labels. Just do you.
Yeah.
Do what feels good in here, and just like we're not just endless machines of just like rant, like countless ideas. Like we have to take it easy, and that's what I'm gonna do. You won't hear music from me for at least 6 months, and everything I'm dropping is visuals.
Mm.
That's it because I feel like I didn't drop enough visuals. So now I'm coming back, and everything I'm dropping will be on hot new hip hop, anything like that, because I'm dropping a bunch of visuals. My style has changed a lot
Mm.
because I've found myself in prison. Prison was the best thing that could have ever happened to me in my whole life,
Yeah. Was that
ever.
was that the first? Was that like the first time you ever went? Was in were you were locked up for 6 years or no 4 years?
Uh, 3.5,
Three and a half.
maybe like
Okay,
three and a
yeah.
half.
I was getting you confused with somebody else, but that's still like a crazy long time. So like, how was without getting too into detail, but like, how was like that? You said it changed you a lot. Like, did you find like when you got in there, you didn't know what to do? Like, did you like just explain that experience to me? I guess.
Okay. So I'm sorry. Let's see. So okay. Man, prison was okay. So basically, I get there and it's not like the movies, right? But
Yeah.
it is because I'm going there for a violent charge. And to basically clarify my name, I didn't go to prison for beating up a chick.
Mm-hmm.
My charge is aggravated battery and aggravated assault. Aggravated assault was because I had a gun on me when I beat the fuck out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got an aggravated assault. So basically, I caught a kidnapping charge because when I walked in on Carrick with my side bitch, um, I was on some drunk shit, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna open up about that because I live my truths. I don't give a fuck because you can't change me, you can't tarnish me, you can't do shit with me because I'm pure. I'm pure and I live my truth. You feel me? There's nothing to hide from me.
Yeah.
Basically we got into it and shit like that. I ended up beating the fuck out of him, and then I pistol whipped them, and they hit me with a gun charge, but they put it down to aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and then aggravated battery because I beat him up.
Yeah.
Now the whole female thing, if you look at my record, that was previous, and I have three beautiful sisters.
Mm.
I don't condone putting your hands on women at all.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What I did was gameless. Like it was gameless as fuck. Like you don't ever want to do some shit like that. I was in a very dark place, not to make excuses,
Mm.
but I learned from all my mistakes and I did my time. But to set the record straight, we're not gonna act like I did that time because of a fucking female. I did that time because I beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah. So yeah, if we're gonna go into like that whole situation about your charge, I feel like we want to go because I want everyone to fully understand what you're saying here. So I want to
Right,
like
right.
set up. So if I don't know how to exactly to do this, but like so you're occur. What's that guy's name that you were just talking about? What's his name? Akari?
I don't fuck.
I don't know.
Bro, I couldn't even. It's some anime shit. I don't even know, but like off
Okay.
brand.
So, how did you first become? You're not part of it, but how did you first meet Death Rising?
Okay, so I'll tell you the truth, man. God, I love speaking the truth, but I had a shotgun in my mouth,
Hmm.
and I was gonna pretty much kill myself. And Young Rare reached out to me. I'll
Hmm.
give him that. Like, you know what I'm saying? He reached out to me, and that night, we spoke throughout the night, and he was a fan. Like, he was just like, dude, like your music is amazing. I look up to you. I love you. Please, like, continue to do what you're doing. Like we need you in this shit, dog. And after that, we kept in correspondence. And I was like, yo, I seen he did music. I'm like, okay, cool. I was checking out the sound. I'm like, okay, I fucks with it.
Yeah.
But when I spoke to him, the energy wasn't the same. So I was kind of confused at first because
Excuse me.
I'm like, this dude and this music don't sound like the nigga that I'm talking to.
Hmm.
But I'm like, okay, cool. I get it. Because here's what it is. There's an anomaly that happens in music.
Hmm.
The weirder you are and the cornier you are, the better music seems you made. Like a
That's
lot of
true.
these dudes who are like making this crazy music, like Drake is the most paid fucking artist in the world, and he's a fucking lame. And it's like, so I seen that. So me being a businessman, you feel me? I said, okay, cool. This kid has talent. So a few weeks passed by, about a few months, and he says, hey, we're going on tour. Now, mind you, I signed a fucking contract
Hmm.
for X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that like I'm getting paid out the fucking wazoo. I'm like, yo, let's do this shit. He's like, cool. I bring along Kill Switch.
Yeah.
You know Kill
Okay.
Switch?
I do know Kill Switch.
So
Yeah.
I he knows what I did. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to name drop,
Hmm.
but I fucking found Kill Switch.
Okay. Oh, that's crazy.
I
Yeah.
I people don't know this shit. Kill Switch was on that tour with us because of me.
Yeah. Because he's a
And
big
I'm not
deal
here to
now.
Drake drop names. Huh?
Because he's a big deal now. Like Kill Switch is like big time. Yeah.
Exactly. And you know what I'm saying? And and I reached out to him and shit like that, but he knows what he did, and it is what it is, and we gonna see it. But anyway, besides all that, if you go back to my early songs, you can see all that shit.
Yeah.
I
He
was
was
the first
featured.
person to get Kill Switch like 20,000 views
Okay.
when we did all that old shit. You can look all this shit up. It's
So
all on my SoundCloud, all
you
that.
were reposting him, or he was like featured on your
So
tracks?
we were featuring each other, and I was reposting
Oh.
him and shit.
So you guys
And
kind
I
of
was
came
getting
up
when
together.
no,
No.
bro, Kill Switch had like fucking 1,000 followers on
Oh,
SoundCloud when I met him,
okay. I got so yeah. You discovered him basically. Like you brought his
bro.
career up by you had the clout like and were able.
Well, I'm not gonna say anything that I didn't do, but when I met that dude, he was a nobody,
Yeah.
and I made songs with him. We reposted each other. I reposted him and shit, and I saw it. Like the dude's hella talented. I saw it,
Yeah.
and so Jalen, scenes we're me and him doing songs together, so we go on tour together and shit like that, right? So I go on tour with Jalen. So Jalen tells me that because it all started like this. He hits me up. He says, "Yo, I heard you're moving out to Cali." I said,
Hmm.
"Yep." He goes, "Me too." He goes, "Yo, let's get a crib together. I got the studio." And I'm like, "How the fuck do you have all this equipment, bro? What do you do?" And he's like, "My parents bought it for me."
Okay. This is
And
Young
I'm
Rare you're
like,
talking about.
"Yeah, Jalen,
Okay.
yeah, Jalen Cox."
Hmm.
So I'm like, I don't call him Young Rare. He's this, you know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing rare about the boy, but you know what I'm saying? It's Jalen. You feel me?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Jalen hits me up. He's got all this shit. Come to find out, this boy is adopted from England and all this other shit. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm seeing it as a come up. I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say. I'm like, cool. You got a studio and shit. I'm gonna
yeah,
come out there and fuck with y'all
yeah,
after the tour because this tour go crazy. So we go out the tour. That's where I met fucking Winterheart. That's my brother. I love that boy so much.
yep.
That's he's everything to me. You know what I'm saying? I brought we brought out Kill Switch and everybody like that. Um, so after the tour, nobody gets paid. And I'm like, bro, you owe me like 1,000. What did he owe me at the time? Because he paid me some other shit, but it wasn't to do with the tour. But he owed me like 2,200 bucks.
Holy fuck, yeah.
So he owes me 2,200 bucks because we only did like 4 shows. So I'm like,
Okay,
bro, where's the money? And there was no money. Not to mention that, but the shows were duds. No
okay,
one was
yeah.
there.
That's what somebody. I think it might have been your buddy there that told me about that. He said like, yeah, the whole tour was a flop. Like, what was the tour called again?
Bro, I couldn't even tell you, bro.
But yeah, so nobody there, like 10 people, like that type of shit.
No, it was probably like 30 people, but it was boo boo.
Yeah. So you've done bigger
It was
shows
like,
than that in your past. Like it wasn't.
yes, bro. It
Yeah.
was, it was, you can go on YouTube and shit where I'm like, I broke my fingers and shit, like being in mosh pits and shit. Like I broke my nose. Like
Yeah.
my nose is crooked as fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I do this shit. But uh like I said, so that was a dud. I'm like, okay. And then I find out people were hitting me up like, yo, don't fuck with that dude. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, what you mean? They're like, hey man, he fucked a child.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what? So I pressed him about it. But at the time, his parents had put in some shit where they basically got it taken off the web, but there was still proof that it happened. So I basically got him to open up about it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? After a few months and shit like that. But at the time, I already was living there and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was starting to distance myself, and that's what we're gonna get to. But so I find out, and he tells me because I got pressed downtown. I'm walking with this dude downtown. He tells me, no, I got hit with some guns. I got caught with some gun charges. Now, mind you, when I meet the boy, the nigga is soft as baby shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, I don't really want to speak too much on him because like the dude's like, he's a cop. Like, I got paperwork that I'm gonna send to you very soon here, where it's
Mm-hmm.
got his government cop speaking to him. He told the cop, I don't want to be in this 2 months because my fans are gonna think I'm a snitch. Like, the dude knew he was fucked up. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like, he fucked up bad. So I don't want to speak too much about him because I could get fucked over because he might try to press charges on me. So I'm not really gonna speak too much
Fuck.
about it.
Yeah.
But long story short, the first time I really knew this shit was serious is we get stopped by a bunch of Southsiders, Serranos,
Mm-hmm.
downtown, Boise, Idaho. They pull up on us with guns and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit. They're like, hey, you Jalen? Like, yeah, hey man, you're fucking Beto, bro. You're
Shit.
fucking Beto, bro. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I pull them to some like, bro, listen, like, I'm folks, I'm GD. I show them my shit. And they're like, okay, cool. What's up, bro? So they tap in with my folks back home and they let us slide on some shit because I got caught lacking. Like I ain't have it on me because I was at the bar on some like cool boy shit,
Yeah.
not knowing that this dude was a whole like stain, like he's a mark, he's a target. So after we got back to the crib, I'm like, bro, like you gotta let me know what's up so I know how I'm coming. He finally opened up. Oh well, we had these 14-year-old little girls come down. We didn't know they were 14. I was 19. They needed money because they ran away from home. And you can see this in the discovery. This is public shit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So we started to have them sell their pussy for money, but it was not our fault because we didn't know that they were 14.
And that's like
So that's when,
that's a lie though, right? Like that's not even what he did. Like it's worse than that, right?
bro, how the fuck don't you know he's, you know what I'm saying? So then I come to find out from his girlfriend that he was fucking the little girls and
Yeah.
pimping them out.
You know, holy fuck. Yeah.
So that's when I moved. I went basically and stayed with my side bitch at the time.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And I went with her, and he basically seen that, like, because we got into it too, like, over some shit where I basically was like, bro, I'll destroy you, bro. Like, don't you ever talk to me crazy, bro. Like, I know your past, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I think right there is where I fucked up because I moved too quick. I moved my chess. I wasn't playing chess, I was playing checkers. So, fast forward to the incident.
Mm. That and the incident being like that's when you ended up getting in a fight. So all of this happened before, like this happened way back before you even knew the guy, like the actual pedophilia type stuff like that, or was it still happening on
Yeah.
tour? Was it still happening like, or
Nah. So there was a few incidences where basically now finding out later on that okay, for an example, so where it really got sketchy was this girl came over and she was 17. Now Carrick's 21 and she's like trying to get with me and shit. I'm like, nah, like there's something there's she just don't look the age, bro. So I'm trying to ID her and shit.
yeah,
She's not going for it. So I kick her off to the curb.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like I invited her over. She's not showing ID. She's being hella sketchy. I kick her to the curb.
mm,
Now Carrick has her in the back room. I go out. I come back and I'm like, why the fuck is this girl's shoes still here? So I knock on Carrick's door and he's back there fucking this chick. And I'm like, bro, she's 17.
mm,
And he's like, bro, like I get it, but this and that, like she's grown enough.
fuck,
So like those dudes, and like you can tap in with people where they're from. Like those dudes have been about that shit, bro. Like
mm,
they're ratchet, they're dirty, they're bums. You got to realize this, bro. I'm not trying to like act cocky, but I've been that nigga since high school and college. I wasn't thirsty for pussy, and I'm still not thirsty for pussy.
yeah,
You feel me? Like
yeah, I
I
get
don't
you.
need to stoop that low to fulfill my sexual desires.
Yeah, especially when you're like you're trying to run a business, you're trying to run a brand, you're trying to build yourself. You know, like you don't even want to fuck with that because you know any,
Bro, I lost supporters because of him, bro.
yeah, for
I
fucking
lost
sure.
that because of him.
Because they knew because this started to become a widespread thing in like just the local scene. People started to know about
Come on.
his.
But his superpower is he plays fucking like, God forbid you ever meet this fool, but like he plays so innocent, dog. Like this dude, one like he's not good at rapping, but he's good at talking
Yeah.
about how he's not guilty.
Okay, yeah. I mean, fuck if he somehow wants to try to clear himself up, then he can do that. But like from I've heard from like multiple people now, like it's not just like people got to realize like not everyone's as willing to talk openly about you about like as you are, but like other people have said the same exact thing about him. So
I don't give a fuck, nigga. Like I'm here. This is me. This is my face. I'm ready to kill it. The world is mine. I'm out of prison. I have refined myself. I'm ready to go. Like there's nothing that can stop, bro. You're a god. I'm a god. We have God in us. We're all one.
hmm,
There's no God. Like everybody is consisted of God, bro. Like we can do anything we want. And
yeah,
like with my new mindset, the universe put me in prison. I believe that
hmm,
because before I got locked up, we had deals to go overseas. We had deals with Trash King. Like we had a lot of shit going on, and I wasn't ready mentally. I was still fighting a lot of demons,
hmm,
but prison allowed me to really refine myself. I was around killers, gangsters, all that shit, and them niggas loved me because I was me. I never was something that I wasn't. They put me under their wing, and they gave me nothing but knowledge. I gained nothing but knowledge from real niggas who did real shit.
yeah. So do you even find like people in prison are less willing to judge than people on the outside? Like you find that?
No, no. Prison is the 13th grade. Prison is a fucking is a high school.
Okay.
Yeah, there it's the 13th grade. There everybody who wasn't able to fuck bitches or to do whatever it was, you get it's I call it build a bear. You can be whoever the fuck you want because nobody really knows you.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it and you're trying to get your wig split, niggas is not with the shit.
Hmm. And that's what you said, like basically, with so with Rare, you said that you were kind of like you were backing him with the whole. You were trying to give him that kind of
Bro,
reputation.
listen, man, I don't even like talking about this nigga because like he the feds.
Hmm.
But like, let's look at 11th and Diamond. That's my block in Philly where I was born. It's the projects. 11th and Diamond is the projects.
Yeah.
He hopped on a song. Niggas don't know shit about projects. Niggas don't know shit about North Street.
Yeah.
What is you talking about? But I seen that I had a little nerd as lame nigga who was good at writing songs, and I was like, yo, we'll ride this wave. And then once I it's time to get up, nigga. Like it is what it is. But at that time, we already had wrote so much fucking music
Hmm.
that I couldn't just kick him to the curb because everything had this nigga on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I get you. Like it's not. It's like a sort of like a shoddy situation where it's just like you didn't really you guys are not working together in the streets, so you don't really give a shit. It's more about like he's got the music,
Bro,
he's got what you need. Like
that nigga, his pen game is cool and shit, but like, after this music shit, I'm gonna get behind the scenes because I can really scout it. You know what I'm saying? Like on everything I love, I was with NASCAR when a nigga had 1,000 followers on Instagram.
yeah.
He was at my crib biting fucking oranges and or onions and drinking fucking Bud Light and shit. And I
Mm,
told that nigga in a meeting we had that, yo, you're up next. Like, I can see the talent, bro. I told Kill Switch the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But Kill Switch know what he did, and that nigga can suck my dick too. You know
yeah,
why? Because that nigga's a lame, bro. Because he acting all this tough guy shit. But Winter Heart and everybody else knows who was there on tour that the nigga took a half a point of Molly. That means he took a half a point and had to go to the ER because he was going to kill himself because he had a mental breakdown.
damn.
These rappers is not what y'all think.
No,
These niggas is pussy as fuck.
that's
They
crazy.
pussy as fuck, bro. Like
Yeah.
they hella pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like the only reason why that nigga's on is because of Puya. You feel
Okay.
me? Like,
Yeah.
but that nigga's pussy, bro.
Hmm.
Like he's not who he says he's not who he says he is, bro. How the fuck do you go to the? We had to drive him. I drove him to the emergency room, right, at like 1 o'clock in the morning because he took a half a fucking point, not a point
Yeah.
of Molly, bro.
Yeah.
And he was saying that he was feeling weird and that he thought he was gonna die. But now you're like, my Glock and my gun and my this and that.
Yeah.
Rare, nigga, you're a cop. You don't have no guns besides the guns the cops give you, nigga.
Yeah.
All you niggas can suck my dick. I'm that nigga, like for real, and I'm backed by the mob. I'm really backed by the mob.
Yeah. So
I can make calls right now, bro. Like I'm really backed by the mob, bro.
so
I'm really folks, bro.
we could like maybe in the future like see you like running kind of like a management company. Is that what you're saying? Like you're trying to start like a label?
Bro, for sure. I
Yeah.
promise you.
That'd be
Like
crazy.
guaranteed, bro.
Cause
Yeah,
that's
guaranteed
insane.
that shit.
Like you like what from what you're saying, like you've been around like the whole like I guess we're not gonna call them scrap metal because that's your thing, but you're kind of been like behind the scenes, like building up this whole type of
No,
genre.
that's their shit too, though.
Yeah.
But like, I was there. Like, when NASCAR had 1,000 followers, bro. I was there. I was with him. He was in my house.
Hmm.
I made him jump into a spinning ceiling fan at a hotel.
Yeah.
I said, "You won't," and then he got mad at me because he was drunk and he jumped into it. Like I was there with these boys, bro.
I
Like
hope.
I know they're little ass boys. The internet, you can get on the camera and be who the fuck you are because you can keep pressing pause and redoing it. This is me right now, bro. This is
Yeah.
who I am, and I'm backed by the mob.
Hmm.
Really, big folks, bro.
I hope that NASCAR is a cool guy though. Like you don't have like you guys don't have issues, right? Because
No, we don't have issues.
no.
Of course
Okay.
not.
Cool. All right.
I don't got issues with nobody, bro.
No. You just don't fuck with who you don't. You're just kind of on your own shit now. Like you just wanted to build your own thing. You want to clear the air on this and then move past and just be into the next phase of your life and career.
Oh, exactly, bro. Because you got to realize that energy is important, and why I'm giving this energy is because I haven't had my time to speak because they've all had, as far as Jalen, he's had restraining orders on me while I was in prison, so I couldn't speak about it unless
Oh.
because I would be penalized for it.
Yeah.
But now that I'm out, I have freedom of speech again because a prisoner doesn't have the same rights. So now
Okay.
I'm able to clear the air. This will be the last time. I promise you this on my mama. It's the last time I ever gonna speak that boy name. But to set the record straight, you're not gonna make me seem like no weirdo, bro. You can check my charges. Like I'm really that nigga.
Yeah. Exactly. That's it. They just been out here like kind of slandering your name since you've been in there, and yeah, I'm glad that you were able to come here and actually like, cause like I've been like I just keep hearing like people who care about that type of stuff like that still care about Rare, which like you said for the most part is not many people because it's kind of fallen off.
Mhm.
Have been like trying to blame you or trying to like I said, it's always they want to blame the people around the star because they don't want to think it's like that. I think it's pretty similar to a lot of situations where they only tell one side of the story. So really glad that you were
It's
able.
easy.
Yeah, exactly right. It's the easiest narrative, right? Like they don't have to think too hard about it. Like
Yeah.
so. Yeah. So like plans for the future. Like so how long have you been out?
So I've been out since September 5th.
Okay. So you're so only a couple months. So you're just kind of like building up, just like stuff in your personal life. Like you're just trying to like enjoy the freedom again before you really start.
Not really, bro. Like because for me, like everyone's like, "Are you happy you about to get out?" No, because my foot is on these niggas' You feel me? Like my foot is on these dudes' necks. But what I realized is that I had the opportunity to sit back
Hmm.
and learn from my mistakes. I learned from everything that I did wrong
Hmm.
because, as Socrates said, you learn more from your failures than you do your successes. And that's what I did. I took the opportunity and time to allow prison to refine me into a different creature.
Yeah.
And now I'm here to really do it because now I was able to really learn myself, love myself. I didn't know what loving myself was. I'm thinking, is it just like give myself hugs? No, it's about doing things and putting yourself in predicaments and situations that are going to better you as a person and
Yeah.
continuously evolving as a person. Because if you're not evolving, then you're not moving. And I had to take a step back to move forward.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, you had to like look at yourself, like really see where you were
Mhm.
going and try to look from an outside perspective of yourself. So like before, when you described like were you just like crazy, like wilding out, like not giving a shit about your life or anything, just kind of like doing whatever, partying, getting drunk, getting fucked up, like just not even really like
Yes and no.
yeah.
Yes and no. It was more so that I was allowing my energy to like to splurge in too many directions. I
Hmm.
was giving too many people my energy.
Yeah.
Now I'm more reserved and I'm more conscious of who I give my energy to.
Yeah.
So if for me it was about channeling that sort of power into like different avenues instead of allowing myself to be available to everyone and to allow my energy to just like cascade out of me.
Yeah, so you're just given like you're just the type of guy that wants to like help everybody else out, like try to like build other people up. Like you're
Oh,
okay with not being the main star. You're okay with being behind the scenes as long as like you're part of the
well, you
movement.
truly are
Yeah.
because when you know who you are, I don't have to try to be better than you because I realize that we're the same.
Hmm.
So everyone else can see us as different,
Yeah.
but internally, this is where my heaven is. This is where my sanctuary is. I don't need to be better than you or to be less than you if I know who I am.
Hmm.
I never seen none of these dudes like you can ask them like they were like, man, like you run this shit. No, I don't. I told them all the time. We're if anything, I'll be King Arthur, but we sit at a round table, so nobody sits at the front or the back.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be the leader of this shit, bro. I don't give a fuck about that.
Hmm.
I want to make kids get bang their heads until they get seizures. Kidding, don't say that. But I want to fucking,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to incite that sort of rambunctious and like continuation of just energy and just good vibes and fun. And I don't give a fuck because sometimes you need that when you're sad. I don't believe in listening to sad music. I don't understand that. Maybe my brain is different, but
Yeah.
I don't understand people listening to sad songs when they're sad because they're talking about sad shit.
Yeah.
I like to listen to aggressive music to get me out of that to say, you know what? Although my heart is broken,
Yeah.
fuck that shit. I got this because I'm that nigga.
Yeah. I get you. I think like the sad song type of thing is like a lot of times people they kind of want to hear their own pain and their own feelings like somebody else say it because maybe they don't have people to talk to, so hearing it from some, but I do agree with you as well where it's like
I
I
agree with you too.
yeah, like I will listen to sad music but only just like to like chill, like you know what I mean, like I'm not listening to
Mhm.
when I'm sad, like it's like you said, like I gotta get to work, I gotta make video, gotta do this, I gotta listen to some energetic ass music, and then it's like oh fuck, like it's actually funny that's what you said about being on the horse's back with the sword. Like I never heard anybody say that out loud before, but it's like yeah, when I listen to certain songs, like I was like man, I just feel like I'm fucking
Bro, I got Excalibur like ready to fucking come out and just slay a few dragons and
yeah,
goblins like for real.
exactly. So do you kind of find that like when XXX Tentacion, like when he passed, do you kind of find that really hurt, that the whole energetic thing, like it kind of put a damper on it, or were you still running with it, or
So honestly, I felt like with all due respect, X kind of understood that I think X's main goal, and this is my only perception, like he wasn't really in it to be a martyr for the heavy metal alternative scene.
mhm.
He started doing what is that song called? Sauce got the nigga in the sauce on there.
Oh
Like he started to like branch off and do other shit.
yeah,
I don't think like he it hurt because he already had left the genre.
yeah,
By the
I get
time
you.
he died, he was already 2 feet out of the genre.
Mhm. Yeah, I
You
get you.
know,
Yeah,
so that's why I feel like if anything hurt it was when he left. But at the same time, like nothing can hurt energy because energy is real. It's inevitable. It's just renewable. It can't be destroyed. So I'm thankful that like he did it to the level he did it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when he passed, it didn't really put a damper on it. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I'm gonna send you a track tonight, but for the heavy metal shit, I'm kind of stepping away from it, but not because I don't think it's going. Everyone thinks it's not going anywhere. I'll still probably do shit like that, but for me, I have I've found myself, and I know what it is that I want to do. And the
Yeah.
type of music that I want to do needs to be projected in a type of way. So I'm more on some not hip hop shit, but on some more rap shit. You feel me?
Yeah, I definitely get you. Like it because once you start doing it a little bit too much in that genre, people are going to be upset if you start to like branch out. But I definitely understand when people are like, I don't want to be a genre. I just want to make music because like I'd be the same way. If I was sitting down every day just making music, I'd just be like, put on a beat, however I'm feeling that day. I want to do different stuff. Like not just to do different stuff, just because as human beings, you're always gonna. You can't just sit down every day and just be like, if you're angry, yeah, you can sit down and probably drop the craziest like. But you're having a good day. You're not really gonna sit down there and just scream into the mic and like go crazy and do all that. Like,
Exactly.
yeah. But so you don't think that dampened it? But do you think like what like why do you personally think that everyone keeps saying like trap metal's dead? Like it's not. Like is there?
Um, because honestly, I, but it's definitely a wave. And why it's a wave is because of something specific that people don't seem to understand. Is that the powers that be,
Hmm,
the gate holders, right, will never let us through
hmm,
because they don't understand it.
hmm,
It's the same reason why the government won't let marijuana completely through because they don't know how to fucking market it. They don't know how to tax it, I mean.
yeah.
So why it will never break through, at least right now, the way I thought it would 5 years ago, is because I underestimated the powers that be.
Hmm,
These fucking these label heads, they don't know how to deal with this music because it's so sporadic and it's so new and it's so unorthodox that it scares the fuck out of them because as
yeah.
humans, what is different scares us.
Hmm,
So that's why it won't come through. And that's why X, as you've seen it, went to different genres.
yeah.
He went to all that, 17 and all those different kind of things because he understood that the powers that be are not willing to let it through. Because if you really want to make, I watch your shit on Flacco,
Hmm,
I like what you do because you remind me of young academics, and that nigga's a lame. But you are basically the next academics for this kind of underground genre. You know what I'm
hmm,
saying? If you stay consistent,
yeah.
persistent,
Yeah.
and focused, and keep negativity and negative people out of your life, you'll be a fucking you'll be the goat of the shit. You know what I'm saying? But I watched that one and it was all about how they want to go global and they want to do bigger music. Well, there's what they're really saying is that with this genre, if they could, they would, but they can't
Yeah.
because the doors aren't open. I'm Diplo. Diplo follows me on Instagram. You can check that out,
Yeah.
and me and him talk
Hmm,
all the time. And he basically let me know that your type of music is ahead of its time. It's not going to be ready to be put through the gates of the music industry so that you can really make a difference because you got to realize we're dealing with these multi-billion-dollar fucking machines
hmm,
that are getting us out there. We can only do so much as artists. Like the word of mouth can travel, but we'll always be engulfed by the fucking punk ass Taylor Swifts and Drakes and all those dudes who are constantly brainwashing the society to listening to their music.
yeah.
It's literally mathematics. You play a song enough times, it becomes addictive. Well, if we're not getting our songs out there because it's not what meets the criteria, we'll never be that.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I kind of feel that's kind of how I felt because I've said this to other people before. I think it's I kind of lump in sound like the SoundCloud wave, but more so trap metal is that back in the '60s, right? Everything was very like straight laced, and then the hippies came out, and that was culture. That was like not cancel culture, but like the opposite of culture. Like it was pushing in a different way from what the norm was. And then every genre, like every generation, like the '90s, it was grunge, it was rock in the '70s. I felt like trap metal was kind of our generation's thing. And the reason I think the labels are so afraid of it, it's like you said, they want to just the way the internet works, they want to control our emotions. They don't want us to feel a whole lot, and
Yeah.
when we do feel stuff, they want us to get mad at the things they show us. If we are really,
Genius.
yeah, if we are really in like trap metal, really makes you feel like a lot, like too much more than they want you to feel. They want to like slice out your emotions and put it into different boxes of what they want to give to you. And yeah, they'll put some scream stuff. It's like when you hear the radio music where it's like we'll put a little bit of Playboy Cardi on a song, but we don't want to put like too much. Like we'll give you a taste of that, just like enough that you're kind of like it gets you in there where you're thinking it's being included, but overall that's not what we want to show you. We don't want you because they and that's why I think people should be more upset. Like with No Jumper, Lyrical Lemonade, we were getting a lot of these people who really represented us as like our generation, like up to the top. And then the labels like boiled them down to just the most basic traits, cut off the pipeline, and now nobody else can get through. And it's like we should be more upset because they took what our was our like wave, like our thing that should have been 10 years. It should have been 10 years of this shit, and they cut it off right at the neck before it could
Yep.
be anything. And that's
Why not? You cut the head off the snake, right?
exactly because they more than ever they really want to control. It's like you said, they want to control the TikTok music. Like nobody fucking actually likes this music. It's just you listen to it so much
Bro,
that you
it's
just
television, but
it,
we don't watch TV, television, TV programming. Now it's TikTok programming.
yeah. It's like it's basically like torture. They put you in a room and they just do the same thing. They hit you in the knee over and over day by day. Eventually you're not gonna give a fuck about getting hit in the knee anymore, and you're just gonna be like, yeah, this is what it is. Because I definitely agree. Like a lot of the artists, I was talking to somebody earlier today, and I was like, a lot of these artists that like we're told to care about, like they're not even like as famous as you would let on. Like the Suicide Boys, they're huge. They're big time. Like they're huge artists, but you never hear about them because, like you said, it's not what the labels want out there. But they're selling out
They're
stadiums.
terrified. They're terrified of them.
Yeah, exactly. And so they and like people like Little Baby. Like I'm not here to diss anybody, but like Little Baby, all these people, these are like the biggest artists in the world, but they don't sell out stadiums. They don't sell out like they have fans, but they don't have like they don't relate the same way. Like people like the music. It's kind of like a passive thing. But when people like shit like trap metal, like the people who like City Morgue, they fucking love City Morgue. The people who love Suicide Boys because they relate to it on such a level. Like, there's no buffer. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I totally agree. And what it is too is that people like you too, you have so much power. Why? Because you control the narrative.
Hmm.
There will become a point where big rappers who even make more money than you will bow down to you because you control the narrative.
Hmm.
And that's what we need, more people like you to help direct the narrative into the direction it should be.
Yeah.
We need to talk about the fact that Suicide Boys are selling out stadiums. We don't talk about those things because Hot 107 and Breakfast Club, fucking Joe Budden's bitch ass, like they're all shooting the narrative in a certain direction. So the mass population is not understanding it because you got to realize there's so many people out there who love what we do
Hmm.
who have never heard of us because we can't reach that platform because they will not allow it.
Yeah. And I think that's what it is like a lot of people end up selling out. Like a lot of people are like, excuse me, they only want to cover the most pop in, like relevant thing. And like there was a little bit of talk about the whole Suicide Boys selling out stadiums. Like I didn't figure that out completely on my own, but it was like kind of a flyby thing. It's like, yeah, let's talk about this and then move on to the next thing. So a lot of people are like, if you would talk about more relevant topics, and I was like, but this is just what I'm interested in. Like I don't. I started to see like I loved music like during high school, like all everything that was happening in the rap game. Like 2017 was crazy. I love 2018, 2019. I was kind of like starting to see like these weird trends, these artists. But I was like, you know what, like Juice World's still around, so it goes to show that we still have like some of like the stuff that represents us. And then like as soon as his passing, I was just like after that, it just felt like everybody was so manufactured. Like even the people
Yeah.
who weren't manufactured, they just they got super boiled down. Like
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah. And I missed, so I got locked up 20 February. That's 1 month after the whole year started. So I've been down for three and a half. So like I got to see it from a distance, but like I said, dude, like I realized that the powers that be, they're too mighty at this point,
yeah.
and that this going to take a true like revolution to happen.
Hmm. And that's kind of like that's my overall goal is to try to like build that pipeline back up because I feel like the pipeline was like No Jumper, all this type of stuff, and they sold out, and now there's no way. And I'm hoping like if I can, even if I
No
necessarily,
jumper was he was supposed to do it for us, man.
Exactly. And for some people he did, but he sold out so fast, and like people talk about it, and he's like, oh well, it just wasn't the popular thing anymore. But it's like if I had enough like money to just live the rest of my life, I would like still be doing this because it would be like you get the money so you can be comfortable to do the thing that you love. You don't do this to get money so you can fuck off for more money. Like this, if you can be comfortable, it's like that's what you should
Yeah.
do. You should be still be doing this if it's really what you care about. And you know, that's what it is more about to me than anything is to like try to like you said to be able to if I can somehow influence even in small ways what's popular
Mhm.
in music like that would just be insane to me. That'd blow my mind.
Yeah. And honestly, bro, like I said, like I truly have reached a point. Could be wrong, but we're all a part of this like this body called God, and we all have access to that ability because there's no being, there's no entity, God.
Hmm.
We're all consistent of God. So
Hmm.
continuously tap into that, and you got to kind of build this attitude where it's like, I'm gonna do it. I don't give a fuck what you say
Hmm.
or how you say it or how you come across. I'm going to fucking do it. And every single day, I just got my 369 journal. You know what I'm saying? Like, write it down. I know it's cliche, but you have to put in the work mentally because a man who says he can't and a man who says he can are both right. So you have to build that mental resilience that, like, you will be anything it is that you want to be.
Yeah, fuck. I'm gonna write that down. A man who says he can and a man that says he can't is are both right.
They're
That's
both right.
I never heard something like
Because what
that before, but that's crazy. Yeah.
you shut your mind down when you tell yourself, that's why I don't say I can't afford that.
Yeah.
I say, how can I afford that?
Okay. Yeah.
It's not how it's because once you say I can't, then your mind is it's so intelligent and it's so brilliant that your subconscious mind stops working.
Okay.
And then that problem that you wanted to solve is done.
Hmm.
Because why? It's prepared for the next problem. If you want that,
Yeah.
say, how can I afford it? And you'll make room. How can I become bigger? How can I get more views? How can I reach bigger artists? That's where your mind starts to do backflips and shoot fireworks.
Yeah. That's crazy. Well, thank you for. Is there anything else you want to promote before we
Really
continue?
no, bro. Like, I'm going ghost for a little bit just because I'm coming back with some real shit, man. Like, I'm coming back fully loaded,
Hmm.
and I appreciate you for allowing me to do this, man. Like, trust me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got you, bro. You feel me? Like, I got goals, you know what I'm saying? I'm already reaching them small right now, but as far as the music, man, just wait on it, man. You know what I'm saying? You will see me.
I'm ready for it. Definitely knowing the credentials that you have, like I know you're
Mhm.
gonna go crazy with that shit. So yeah, I appreciate
Yo,
you coming out, and I also hope that this can help clear shit up. So when you go ghost for a little bit, you can leave this negativity behind
yeah,
around your name, and you can just come back, and it can just be like
yeah.
right off that shit for sure. So yeah, thanks for
Appreciate
coming
you,
on,
brother.
and yeah,